Here's the debate. They saying that Luka Doncic is the best 20-year-old. That's a motherfucking lie. He good, but he ain't the best motherfucking 20-year-old to ever play in the fucking NBA. Don't you ever disrespect Moses Malone, nigga. Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett. All them niggas was 20 years old and they was dogs and the league was harder to play in. This soft-ass league and he still can't do nothing. We blowing their asses out right now. Look at the Lakers. Blowing their dog asses out. He only got 14 points. Talking about he the greatest 20-year-old of all time. Probably in Europe, not in America. He good, but he ain't the best 20-year-old I ever seen. And I've been watching basketball since the 70s, nigga. Now, put that on Sports Talk Radio. Bitch.
Hey, SportsCenter's on and we're on it. That's Neil Everett. I'm Stan Barrett. Let's get started in Dallas. Lakers there to take on the Mavericks, but one player who made the trip didn't suit up for this game.
Yeah, it's a good night for us to play two, but it was not a night for Anthony Davis to play one. Still, we had one of the greatest ever and one of the young greatest ever. Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Lakers, Mavericks. Check it out. Did you ever see Dallas from a DC 9 at night?
Mavs got your shirt on.
Mavs flatter. Lakers impose their will, or both. You can see they average double-doubles against each other. 25, 8, and 11 for James this season. 30, 10, and 9 for Luka Doncic. LeBron James, first quarter, the Lakers imposed their will. They came out and punched the Mavericks in the mouth. Led 45-27 after one. Went on a 14-2 run. James getting it done. Kyle Kuzma getting it done. Kuzma getting just his second start, misses right there. Dwight Howard is a large man, throws Doncic out of the way right there. Rick Carlisle did not have a nice night in this one, ended up getting tossed. 45, most in a first quarter since 2017 for the Lakers. Second quarter, James, open three, hits it, and then has some words with Carlisle. That was interesting. George Sedano will address that later in the show. Doncic, an 80% free throw shooter, struggled from the free throw line. He went 8 of 13, and after a couple misses right there, he tears his jersey open. He's done that before. Did it against the Clippers earlier this season. I could do that if it was a button-down shirt.
Hulkamania.
There you go. Lakers in control the whole way. 16 here. Doncic drives the lane and no good. James listens to coast radio. Steamroller, baby. Gonna roll all over you. And LeBron James, when he gets up ahead of steam, you're in trouble. James, jab step me, and then pop it. And then James in transition finishes with the layup. Fill and chill. James, 35 points, 16 rebounds. First Lakers player with 35, 15, and 5 assists since Shaq in 03. Lakers, 129-114.
If we was able, if we sat down and he asked for advice on anything, I can give it to him. But I don't think that's for for me to ramp up right now in front of you guys. I think he's well beyond his years. And he shows that both on the floor and off the floor, and I mean, obviously, it's no question about it. Have a great one here.
I mean, I'm competitive, like I said, I gotta get a lot better at a lot of points, a lot better. I know I can get better. There's a lot of things. I'm 20 years old. I got a lot of things that I can do better. I can learn better, so I'll get better.
Lakers won by 15, led by much more than that throughout the game at points in the game. Biggest difference was transition offense, a little bit different than fast break points, which Lakers won 26-13. LA averaged 1.6 points per play in transition. Dallas averaged less than 1. Lakers have been great in transition all season. They averaged the second most fast break points per game behind only the Bucks. Richard Jefferson is here. Richard, you know LeBron James. You expected the game that he had because of what was at stake. How so?
Well, look, he hears everything. That's one thing about Bron. He's very aware. And especially after last season, his hashtag this year has been Washed King. Like, everyone is counting him out. And so Luka Doncic is the next person that's being crowned. It's been Giannis, it's been Luka. So these opportunities he looks forward to. He looks forward to these things on the calendar going against a guy and really is establishing his dominance still.
So if I said he bullied him physically and mentally. Is that fair?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think Luka still has so much more to go in his career, but this was an opportunity for LeBron to still show that he is one of the top players in the league.
All right, well, here's some numbers right here, head-to-head numbers. It's not really a fair comparison. I mean,
yes.
you've got one of the greatest ever against a kid who they're saying in his second year could be one of the greatest ever. That's a lot of weight for the kid to carry. Did Dallas let its emotions with the officials overwhelm it while the Lakers were overwhelming them?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that this game pointed out some flaws, right? You see that, look, LeBron's game has gone to another level when they added Anthony Davis. Luka's game, I believe, went to another level when they added Kristaps Porzingis. That means that they need Porzingis healthy. Like, that makes everything that much easier. There was a lot of standing around. There was a lot of watching. And look, Luka's still going to get his numbers. He's still going to be a great player. You saw what he finished with. But at the end of the day, he needs Porzingis on that floor because it just adds the spacing and it just makes his game that much more impressive.
Doncic can't have an off night if Porzingis is not playing.
Fair.
All right, Kyle Kuzma gets the start for Anthony Davis. Is he the right fit that's just not being used right?
He had a great first half. He had, 19 points in the first half, and he scored some points in the second half, but it was not nearly as impactful. And so that's kind of a microcosm of his season, where one game he'll play well, another game he'll struggle. This game he had a great first half, didn't really do nearly as much in the second half. They're just looking for consistency, and that's very tough. He's a third-year player that's on a championship team, and they're asking for consistency. That's something that's very difficult, but I do believe that he is that X factor.
We'll talk about Oregon, Arizona off. James and the Lakers punched him in the face in the first quarter. Dallas never recovered. Richard Jefferson.
This guy, don't talk about Arizona right now.
By McDonald's.
Welcome inside Studio H in Los Angeles. I'm Rachel Nichols with two NBA champions here joining me, Richard Jefferson, Paul Pierce. So glad to have Richard with us because it was a little touch and go there for a minute. Pelicans and Knicks are just the first game in our doubleheader. In the second game, we have two MVP candidates facing off, LeBron and Luka doing battle for the fourth and final time this season. Now, earlier this week, I sat down with Luka Doncic and I asked him about how playing LeBron is different now back then when he was just a wide-eyed rookie. LeBron is a guy who was on TV commercials and winning championships when you were just 12, 13 years old. And I know the first time you played him, there's the great story that you asked him during the game for a signed jersey, and you obviously had this moment of playing against someone you looked up to. But things have changed. That was a season ago, and obviously now you're very comfortable going head-to-head with him. How did that transition happen?
Yeah, I mean, I remember first game I was nervous, playing against, your idol. I was nervous, so it was something different that I never experienced. And, as we go along, today, it's different than the first game for sure playing against him, but it's always special.
How electric do you expect the building to be here in Dallas on Friday night?
I mean, I think it's going to be full for sure. It's the Lakers coming in. Everybody is going to be in it, and, we hope to win it.
LeBron and Luka have both scored exactly 77 points in games against each other this season. Now, LeBron does have a slight edge in rebounds, assists. The Lakers have the edge. They have won 2 of these 3 matchups. All right, Richard, what impresses you the most about the fact that this kid, he's 20 years old. He cannot legally buy alcohol in this country, and he is legit going toe-to-toe with LeBron James.
He is, and I think where Luka is special, and I think a lot of people knew in advance, is that he's been playing against grown men since he was 16. When you start playing against grown men, and he won a EuroLeague championship. So it's like he's played against grown men in the biggest moments of his career, playing the EuroLeague, playing in the championship game, and being the best player on the court. So now he gets to go against his idols. Right now he gets to go against LeBron James, and he gets to go against players like that. So he's not as awestruck as I think other rookies might be in that spot.
James we talk about. This is EuroLeague no more. This is LeBron James.
But he's played it. He's succeeded on the greatest level, and we know he's special. We know he's different. And so for him to look at this as more of a challenge, it's like, hey, I want to see how I compare, and he's been comparing pretty well.
He won MVP of the EuroLeague when he was a teenager playing with
this
men.
This is LeBron James and the NBA.
And what about LeBron,
that's saying a little bit more.
Agreed. I 100% agree.
What about LeBron, though, on his side of things, though, Paul? Because he is playing against a guy who was basically built in a lab to mimic him. Luka says that he modeled all of his game on LeBron James.
I mean, when you're LeBron, you look at, little predecessors. You're like, he got a little bit of me in him, but LeBron's not worried about him just yet. you know, but he does not want to be showed up by Luka. Please believe that. And so he's going to come out, and especially when you're on the big stage, national TV, in the regular season, he's going to look, let me put this kid in this place. He